Alright folks, good evening again. Your favorite Strike Eagle right here. So we're doing another mission. We just completed the Cyprus invasion mission. And right now we're going to be doing the enemy bomber raid mission, Syria map, with the Strike Eagle. So the description is that we have to intercept a moving 4-ship bomber formation inbound, which this target is intended to be our airbase for them, right? So we got to protect our airbase with the Strike Eagle. The Strike Eagle has massive air superiority. It is superior, definitely, with its radar. So it's advanced radar, air-to-air radar, not just air-to-air, to ground radar too. So I believe that this gonna be an easy mission. It shouldn't be difficult. We have 4 AMRAAMs, we have 4 Sidewinders. Technically, we can take down or at least damage the 4 ship just with the AMRAAMs, damage them, and then finish it off with the Sidewinders, right? If they have any kind of air support, that make things a bit more challenging. Right, so let's just begin with the objective is that you're the only fighter on the ready alert and get in the air and stop the enemy bombers. They are low level, bearing 070 from the airport and 45 miles out. Okay, so we know exactly what to select our radar at and which heading to go, and which looks like 580 knots. All right, so they'll be in 4.5 minutes. We got 4.5 minutes on the timer with them down. Now, there's a base cloud at 3,200 feet, standard QNH 29902. That's standard air pressure. And the Air Force Base is Ramat. All right, so that's this route. Okay, so that should be a very easy mission, especially for the Israeli Air Force pilots, right? I mean, you got one Strike Eagle can take down a whole 4-ship. So let's begin. See how this thing unfolds. All right. So, oh, I'm on the ground. I gotta get started up. All right, this is gonna be fun. Let's do this quickly, shall we? Let's fly. Oh, never mind. So the cockpit is all okay. Systems are up. Let's go. We don't have any time to lose. Let's turn out here. Let's get in the air now. Roger that. So let's quickly do the following. So we don't need our air-to-ground radar. What we can do is just program the air-to-air right there, and then we can also have the hold on. There we go. HSI, and that's it. And then right here we have the RWR. Yeah, this is the HSI, so we can program the 2s, which is our RWR, and just in case the ornament page. And lastly, hold on, air to air on the 2s. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to program here is the ADI and TSD. So we want to have the TSD on the air-to-air mode. There we go. Let's double check all the instruments. Okay, so the microphone is on, anti-collision lights. We can turn on the position lights on. We got all the tanks are normal. Inlets, cast switches. Set the trim for takeoff. It is ready set. Flaps down, 3 green on the gears. All the engine control switches are auto and on. Air conditioning, we can turn on the console knob just in case for more brightness if we go into dark places, just shadowing. Radar is in standby, INS is in navigation mode. Terrain following radar, altitude radars, navigational clear, everything on standby. Let's go back to the back seat of the Wizzo. So we have the targeting pod flare on standby. We can turn it on, but keep the laser off. And all the countermeasures on and on auto. And then the mode for the countermeasure is going to be on semi-auto for the chaff and flare program. All right, so castle switch up, and we're automatically in the air mode. I can put my visor on, but it's not bright enough. I'm not sure why we're in the RAM, because usually, and just so you guys know, that taxi light on. All right. So here's the runway, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So in Israel, the RAM is mainly an air-to-ground operations aircraft. Okay. It's not an air. It's more focused on air-to-ground work. The RAM or the F-15I. And then we have the other squadrons, the Eagle Squadron that's mainly doing from bearing 070, altitude probably less than 3,000 feet. All right, so they are pretty low actually. So that's all right. Let's line up on the runway here, shall we? Entering the runway, radar on, and landing lights on as well. We're lining up. We're going to do a quick combat takeoff, and we'll show you what a combat takeoff is quickly. So let me just line up with runway here. There you go. Okay, so we have what I was saying is, let me just do, spool up the engines to 80%. 80%. So we have actually the control stick, the joystick halfway, and release the brakes and afterburners on. Right. We're 22,000 pounds of fuel. We should be rotating between 160 and 170 knots. So we are rotating. There we go, 170 knots, gears up and flaps up as well. I said combat takeoff, so let me actually pitch down here a little bit using the trim. This is Ramat David Airport. Getting some airspeed here. Let's get just above 350 and let's do a vertical. Turn a vertical and I'm going to turn right on a heading of 070. Master arm switch. Castle switch to the left. Take control of the air-to-air radar. There you go. And let's see what we got here on our radar. Radar is on. How come I'm not seeing anything? Okay, so we took some hits, right? So you know what? I was explaining too much. Instead, should have just taken off. So let me just redo the mission here quickly. All right, so let's just do this quickly. We got to do an immersion. We spend too much time on this explaining. Oh yeah, it was 8 minutes. Oh, shot. So quit for a second. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. Fly again. All right. Let's make this much simpler. Fly again. Okay, here we are. Let's go. We don't have much time to lose. Let's turn out of here. All right, let's just quickly program what we need to program. Program air to air. And right there, program twos and what, twos and ornament. And let's go with the program, the ornament ADI and TSD. There you go. Whistle seat quickly, countermeasures, 1, 2, 3, on. Everything's good. Since it's takeoff, taxi lights on, parking brakes off. Let's do this. Here's the runway. We're close, right close to the runway. Castle switch up. There we go. Approaching the runway, radar on, landing lights on. Okay. Bombers are heading in from a bearing of 070. Okay. Here we are. We're going to do a continuous takeoff, continuous roll. We're not going to be stopping on the runway. So I'm splitting up the engines to 80%, lining up with the runway. And afterburners stick, pulled halfway. We should be rolling at about 160, like I said, 160 knots. Castle switch left, taking control of the air-to-air radar. So here's 160, 170, airborne. Gear up, flaps up. Air combat takeoff. Getting as much speed as I can, pitching down constantly on that air, on the pitch, on the trim, and let's go 3.5, 4 Gs. Get some climbing altitude and turn right to heading 070. Okay, I see it. There they are. Here are the bombers, 3000. TWS mode, 4 TWS mode. So I want to have a better picture of all of them. Here they are, master switch, arm. All right, we got range of 17,000. And Fox 3. Next target, Fox 3. So coolie switch up, next target, Fox 3. Next target, Fox 3. All right, switched it. There you go. So I need 25 seconds for 25 seconds for it to be cooled on the IR of the what do you call it? I can uncage if I need to. Caged. Splash, splash, splash. There we go. Fox 2. Why is it not reading it? It's not reading it. Splash. It's going down. STT mode, capture the other one. Fox 2. Fox 2 again. Splash. Splash. So I think we just splashed all of them. That's all of them. Way to go. Nice. Good air work. We saved Ramat David Air Force Base. All right. So we just saved it. Good stuff. So we can head back and land. So let's do this. So we just took down 4 bombers in less than 5 minutes, right? That was like quite fast. That's it. We can just say, hey, you know what? We're inbound, Ramat David. Inbound. And we're just making a circle right here. Got another runway that we can use. Ramat David has 6 runways, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Let's use some of our air brakes. Let me stabilize. Pitch up on to gain some to lose some airspeed, and gear down and flaps. All right. We are a bit heavy, so I should have probably dumped some fuel, but you know what? I think we can still make it. Air brakes is fully deployed. We can start putting that pointer just where the threshold is. And 190 is a bit slow, so we got to be just around 200 knots here. All right, there we go. $196, $95, I know I'm a bit high, but 190 knots. Putting some power here because I don't want to slam down into the ground. So I'm flaring right now, idle, completely idle. And pulling the stick all the way on to me. So I'm using the elevators as air brakes. You can see the elevators right there. So I'm using that as air brakes as well. And I'm just slowing down. So 60 knots. Can bring back the flaps and the spoiler, the air brakes as well. All right, together. Cool. That was a very good 2-minute mission. Very easy. You can exit right here. All right. That's it. Mission completed. So there it is. Very easy, very simple. Ramat David Airport. And we just protected the airport and the country as well from all these Russian bombers. Thank you for watching. Let's quit the mission. Distinguished Flying Cross. Yep. All right, I think this is going to be out for today. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you